this is me consuming energy and I want to do that responsibly. But it connects me to the sustainability of our planet. I'm really fascinated by regenerative agriculture right now and how we can be
Mm-hmm.
better stewards of the land through agriculture. And it all starts with
Mm-hmm.
food. Just being intentional around our food sourcing, what we eat, whom we
Mm-hmm.
eat it with, how we eat it, our emotional state when we eat it. This all matters, and so I'm very very highly aware of that. And to your point, being having experience in my own background around raising livestock and being part of that process, I think for the first time I'm realizing this is something that you've brought out in me just today. Um, I'm realizing having that experience and background is an important connection to the journey that I'm going through currently with food.
No, that's what I was getting at is you are very unique because I think you're the minority in this sense because so many people have never ever experienced that. All
Yeah.
they know is that food is at the grocery store and that's where I get it. I work and I pay for this food, but they've never actually like worked for the food, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they never
Yeah.
actually made the food, and I think it loses touch. Like people
Hmm.
forget where it comes from. And that's
Yeah.
where what why I know this might be a touchy subject for some people, but I'm just going to bring it up, man, because we're talking about food right now. I honestly, this is my opinion whether you like it or not. I honestly think people who are vegans it's are privileged.
Oh, I think so. First, I think there's a lot of privilege in food, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
privilege. Like I have privilege in my food. I talk
Mhm.
about purchasing regenerative regeneratively raised beef, right? That's
Mm.
expensive. I don't really
Yeah.
eat processed foods. So my
Yeah.
food habits are fairly expensive habits. That's a luxury, right? I have the luxury of
Mhm.
investing in my health, my connection, my social, the
Yeah.
aspect. Like I
Everything.
have a luxury of investing in that because our society has, and by the way, I don't think either of us thought that this podcast was going to go in this direction, but this is great.
Yeah.
I think that our
Yeah.
society, like economically and socially, has been built around this idea of the cheap calorie. So very,
Mm.
it's very much a luxury to be able to rise above that cheap calorie. I get why people go through the drive-through at fast food, right? Life is hard. Life is hard. Dual income families,
Convenient.
both
Yeah.
everybody's scraping by. There's not time and space in our lives necessarily to prepare food, to to share it in meaningful ways that are healthy for us, that create energy, that create longevity and health. It's just not
At least
it's
not how we
not the
used
way our
to.
society is structured. So yes. So is veganism
Yeah.
a luxury? It is. Veganism is hard. There's a documentary right now, a docu-series. Have you seen
Yeah.
You Are What You Eat? I think it's on Netflix
I think
probably.
I think I seen clips of it. I don't think I've seen it though.
It basically, 30 seconds or less, it takes identical twins, people who have the same genetics, puts one on a very healthy omnivore diet, meat
Mhm.
and veggies, but it's a
Everything.
healthy diet with working out and all of that, puts the other person on a vegan diet, also a
Oh
healthy
wow.
vegan diet, working out. And over the course of 8 weeks, researchers are trying to learn what they can by taking identical genes, putting them on two healthy diets, but two different diets. And there were actually tremendous benefits in only 8 weeks to the vegan diet.
Really?
And yes, so there are probably many good reasons to be vegan. I will probably never be vegan because I love eggs. I eat a lot of eggs, but I
I
could go the
love
rest of,
Wagyu steak. Have you ever
yeah,
had like I splurged one time and bought a like $100 um like Japanese A1 perfectly marble
yeah,
like steak, and it was like $100, but it was only like two servings. Like it was just
yeah.
like a small like 6 ounce serving for me and another 6 ounce for somebody else. But
And was
man,
that
when
in the
you
US
cook
that you
it,
did that?
yeah, when I was stationed out in San Diego, I was
Yeah,
so lucky. I lived in this apartment complex that literally right across the street from the apartment complex was this like luxury beef manufacturer guy, entrepreneur guy that got international beefs and steaks and all kinds of like the highest quality meats like shipped into that warehouse. And then
yeah.
he had a storefront where he would just they were like laid out like jewelry almost. Like it's just like
It's a great
pick
description. That's a
your
very vivid description.
yeah, like pick your like $100 like luxury steak, and he had like the $500 giant like tomahawks,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, with a rib
yeah,
coming
I
out of it.
just yeah. So yeah, I
And so
don't know
let me
where I was
ask
going,
you,
but
well, was
yeah,
that $100 in a delicious steak, was it a good investment?
honestly, yes,
Your
I
smile
think
says
it
yes.
was.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course it
I think it
was.
was.
Like,
Yeah.
if we're not investing in food, the most important thing really in our lives, what are we investing in? So that's an
Mm,
example of that experience. I remember once I was in Japan, with the Navy, and same, purchased a
yeah.
Wagyu steak. We all did, like my entire detachment got one,
Yeah.
and we ate it, and then we all just purchased another one right after that because it was
What?
this life-changing
It's so good.
experience of deliciousness. And I'm making tough decisions around beef. Like I'm at a place right now because I am aware of the impact that beef have on our, raising beef has on our
Hmm.
planet. Like beef themselves are okay in the right densities, but there is not enough land on this planet to
Yeah.
fulfill our human
Need
consumption of beef,
consumption.
right?
Yeah.
We're willing to destroy our entire planet for the luxury of eating that red meat. And I eat
Yeah.
red meat. And so what we've decided as a family is to only eat red meat once a week.
Yeah.
And
That's
when we
good. That's
do,
kind of how I do it.
yeah, and when we do, it's
Yeah.
regeneratively raised. So we actually pay kind of like
Okay.
twice as much for the meat because we
Yeah.
know that it was raised in a way that demonstrated stewardship for the land, that helps that land recapture and sequester the carbon so it's not in our atmosphere. And as humanely as beef can be raised, because
Yeah.
I think we acknowledge if a calf is raised to be eaten, is there any humanity in that at all? But
Yeah.
at least that animal died on the land it was raised and wasn't put in a feedlot, right? That's what I care about.
No, honestly, I agree, and I think that's where we lose touch as well, is because capitalistic America has industrialized meat consumption, and I think that's what hurts me the most. Even though I eat meat, that's yeah. I'd rather eat meat that was they lived a good life or something and was treated fairly until they were, you know, cut off.
Betrayed. Betrayed.
Yeah. But I also think it's just part of life, man. Everything
Mhm.
like I don't want to offend any vegans. Like I actually tried to be vegan for like 3 months and just couldn't do it. I felt like it was hard. It was too hard to get protein in, and
Mm.
I felt bloated all the time. Um and yeah, it was just too hard for me, and I missed meat too much. But
Yeah.
to any vegans out there listening, I think honestly, it's just part of life. It's it's in our autonomous nature to eat meat. Are you gonna tell a lion to stop killing calves because they're carnivores? Like, no, I think it's
Yeah.
just part of life and our autonomy. So, and everything has
A-
a cause and effect.
and
So,
so yes, we evolved eating meat. We evolved eating what we could. Um, but I'd also say to the vegans out there, good on you, right? Good on you for
yeah.
making a choice based on your moral principles. And
Hmm.
and and it is a healthy diet. It really is. Um, so good on you for investing in your health, for investing in your morals, and potentially, and it depends on the vegan diet, it varies, but potentially also investing in your planet. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll join you one day, except for the eggs. I'm going to keep on eating eggs. I feel confident. But
For
even
the
then,
Wagyus.
yeah, but maybe someday I'll leave that behind.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video clip, then I think you'll like the full episode. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.